I feel like I had a sign from the universe to make this video because it's about like aging and getting older. And then as I was thinking about making this video walking home from the gym, then I went into the Co-op just to get something really briefly. And the song that played was Younger Now by Miley Cyrus. And I know there's so many songs that are like based on aging and youth and all that. But that's that's not a big song. Like not many, it's not well known. And like for the like 3 minutes I was in the Co-op that played, just as I was thinking of making this video about it, like I think it's a sign. Anyway, so the backstory to this is I got work as an extra for a show and they had to cut my hair and I was like, please don't cut a lot, like just I want to keep my curls. Anyway, I didn't like how she cut it, and yesterday morning when I woke up and I was like looking at my hair, I saw a whole strand of gray, like one strand of gray hair. The full strand was gray, silver. And I thought, this is the start of it. Like this, like I'm getting old. And I know I'm still, like I'm only 25, so I'm still so young in the grand scheme of things. Like the way we're going now, like I could easily live till 90 or honestly 100. Not that I want to, but I could. So that's like not even a quarter of my life lived, or just a quarter of my life. So I still have so much more left, but it's just like, I really notice that time is speeding up. And they say the older you get, the like quicker life goes. I don't know why, but it's a fact. I remember seeing it on Instagram, and everything you see on Instagram is real. And just when I saw that gray hair, I thought about it. Like I really thought about my mortality and my life and my dreams. And this is going to sound so egotistical and like narcissistic and like delusional of me, but I do have big dreams. Like I do. I've always had them in terms of acting and singing. Like I've always wanted to be great. I've always wanted to like get awards and accolades and like be famous and like just be recognized for my craft. And I know that sounds, I mean, like to get to that level, the odds and the statistics are nowhere near in your favor. Like there's a 99.999% chance that won't happen. Like it's the odd, unless you're born into that industry, like the odds are not good for you. But I can't help that that's what I want, and that's those are my dreams. And for years I never said it, and for years I kind of suppressed them and thought of them as stupid and silly, and I was embarrassed by them, and like I never really did anything about it. Like, oh, I have these big fuck off dreams, but it's like I'm not actually doing anything about it. I'm doing a degree in science, like, but like it has come to a point now that I am embarking on reaching my goals. And I know not everyone has big dreams and wants to live a big life. And when I say big, I don't mean big as in terms of better and more admirable. If anything, I think like a simpler in terms of like kind of conventional life of wanting a stable job, to buy a house, which in this day and age isn't actually that simple of a wish because it's kind of unattainable. But those kind of things: starting a family, getting married, settling down, like having roots, and like I guess a conventional life. Like most people do want that, and that's admirable in its own right. And I'm not saying I'm any better or more important of a person because I don't want that. If anything, I like literally 2 weeks ago there was one night I just cried the whole evening because I was so anxious. I had so much fear. I was so overwhelmed, and I cried, and I just like was wishing that that I could be content with that sort of life. I was like, I just wish, I genuinely right now wish that all I wanted was to fall in love and maybe have a family and settle down and live like a quiet, simple life. But deep down in me, I know that wouldn't suffice, and I've known that for forever, really. I don't ever remember a time when I didn't have this feeling that honestly, that I would be someone. And again, I know that sounds so fucking narcissistic, because most people don't want that. And if you tell, like, kind of, you know, most people, they're just like, what? Like, you think you're better than me? And it's not about that. I don't think anyone is better than anyone, or anyone is more important than anyone, just because they have a certain, like, level of fame, I guess, or recognition. But that is what I want, and I want to get there. And I know it's not easy. Even now at the complete entry beginner phase, it's so hard, and I constantly have to deal with self-doubt and kind of trusting myself, and like imposter syndrome. Constantly have to think of imposter syndrome or deal with imposter syndrome, and like the whole beginner's vibe. Like it's you feel like you're in the deep end, and you're just like, where do I go? And the embarrassment and the cringe. Like yesterday in acting class, we were doing a scene, and the teacher got us to do it as if we were puppets, and it was so cringy and embarrassing and awkward, but like also so rewarding. And I was just like, I just have to fucking do it. Or even today, I was at a studio with a producer, putting down some vocals, and I felt so stupid because I don't know like anything. I don't know anything about production or music theory or like technicalities, and he was saying all these words, and like I was like, dude, I literally just have like my voice and like 4 chords on the keyboard. Like, I don't know. And like I felt so I just felt silly. And I know those are really like benign, like silly examples, but that's just the like idea of it. And it's like, I'm gonna have to do more and more of that. I'm gonna have to constantly expose myself to that environment of feeling little and feeling out of my depth. And so to hark back to the grey hair thing, when I saw it, I thought, fuck, there's gonna be a day when, I don't know if it's when I'm in my 60s, 70s, hopefully the latter, and my whole head of hair will be grey. And I don't want to get to that age and like be full of disappointment, not because I didn't reach my goals or like live out my dreams of this bigger life with awards and recognition, but disappointment and regret for not even trying. And I don't even mean trying in terms of like, oh, okay, like I'll give it a year, or I'll put myself out there once. Like, I mean trying with everything, trying with passion, integrity, with like just giving it my all. I don't want to get to that age and then realize like, fuck, I actually didn't. There was a point when I was 25 and I thought, oh, this is exactly what I want to do. And even though I'm not sure how I'll get there, and it's going to be so fucking scary and awkward and weird and cringy, and like there's no kind of blueprint, because it's the type of work and industry where there's no map. You just have to know. But I didn't do it because I thought, well, the odds are against me, and like fucking gay boy from rural Ireland like is never gonna make it, and like what's the point in even trying? It'll be so much easier to just live a life that's comfy and financially stable and small. I don't want to get there. I do not. Like, that is my biggest fear. Honestly, it is. And I wrote a poem on this, or like a little thing years ago, like a year ago, and it was like, it's not the fear. It's not the fear of death, but the fear that, I can't remember how it goes. Honestly, it's in my notes app, because I wanna do it justice, because this is what the fear of. I don't know if it's dying that I'm so afraid of the or the feeling of it all ending without having done anything extraordinary in my life. That is how I feel. Like, and I know that sounds really extreme and that's a lot of pressure. And I'm not saying it makes you a bad, lazy person to not want those dreams. If anything, as I've said, I think a majority of people don't want that. But for me, it's like, I don't want to die without knowing I have given it everything. And I'm not even talking in terms of years, or I don't know how to quantify that, but I just mean everything with all of my heart and passion and soul. So if anything, seeing that grey hair has maybe motivated me in such a way, or just really fucking solidified that. No, I'm not gonna get to, I'm gonna either, this sounds so morbid, I'm gonna die before I get to that age. I'm not gonna get to that age where I'm gonna be like, oh, wasted it. And I'm not saying you can't start, you can start at any age, of course you can. But I know what I know now, and I know what I want now. So why delay it? Why not start it now? So yeah, I guess this is, if you are no one's fucking watching this yet. But if you are someone who's watching this, and you know what you want, and you do have big dreams, whatever they are, whatever type of work, but you're kind of just a bit like, but like, what's the point? There is a point, because future you will have so much regret and disappointment for not trying with everything. So don't disappoint them. If you know it in your heart and soul, if you've always had that thing in you where you're like, I'm meant for more. I'm meant for like a bigger, like non-conventional life. Because I don't know how many people have that inside them. I'm not saying I'm special because I have it, but if you do, just go for it. Just fucking go for it. Like, just do it. Just start somewhere and keep going. Not even so that you make it or get to a certain place, because realistically you're probably never going to be happy with where you are, but just so you can know inside of you that you've done it all as much as you could. And you'll know if you've done what you could. Okay, that was really heavy. I feel like I have to end on something like funky or like weird. Okay, let me think of something funny or weird or unique that's happened recently. Or just an anecdote that I have. Oh, I feel like I had one. Okay, a guy came into work and asked, do we do decaf coffee? And I was like, yeah, we do. And he was like, oh, great. I'll have an orange juice. Like, that wasn't that funny, but